Hello everybody, we're here with a new and exciting deck, Marincess. I know we looked at this deck in the past, and in the past one of my biggest critiques of the deck is the extenders aren't really there. If you get interrupted on your normal summons, kind of game over. The deck has some new life, new legs with these new cards added, and my god are they good. So I know you guys are looking at the triple tactics, the 3 triple tactics here, and I'm going to tell you right now, very strong card. If you guys don't have these, we'll talk about replacements and stuff in the recap of the video. But let's look at the main deck real quick. We're running 2 Effect Veilers, 3 Maxis, 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Nibs, and 2 Called by the Graves, Crossout Designator, and Infinite Imperm for our, I'm going to say hand trap package, even though I know Call of Grave isn't and Crossout isn't a hand trap, but I'm going to call it a hand trap package because these 3 cards here prevent our opponents from using their hand traps. We're running, these are one of the new cards in the deck, Marincess Dive. We're running 2 of them because they are a card that you can tutor out. This card is insane. Card is very, very good, and it pretty much gives us some new life. So if you think you can't combo anymore, guess what? You got Dive, you can keep comboing. And in the extra deck, let's see some of the new cards we got there. One of the big new cards that we got here is Agronaut. So Agronaut, this card is insanely good. You're going to see in the replays how good this card is, because this card's, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's so good. It's so much fun. And we also got Coral Triangle, another insanely good card. So this card lets us tutor or search. I always say tutor. I don't mean to keep saying that, but search out our Marincess Wave, which Marincess Wave is an insanely good trap card. It's like Infinite Impermanence on steroids. You can activate it from the hand if you have a Link 3 or higher Marincess, which you will. And when you activate it from the hand, you negate a monster your opponent has, and all your Marincess monsters are unaffected by card effects. Now, we have other ways of doing that as well, but that is a very powerful way of doing it. So think of it like this. We almost have like 4 imperms, which is pretty gross. But yeah, let's get into the games, and you guys can see for yourself how good this deck has got. Hello, everybody. We're here for game number 1, and we are playing against an opponent who's playing Altergeist, and they're going first. Now, I did not max C here because I was thinking in my head, okay, well, I can max C on my opponent's turn when he tries to do his Altergeist plays, because there's no way he's not just going into an early multi-faker. So he activates spoofing right away, which is kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping he would activate these cards during my main phase, but he does this right in the beginning. He ends up ashing me too. So this triple tactics, I'm really not going to get too much value out of this. But Hexia's probably going to use this to negate, so that's what I'm hoping on. We're going to interrupt Multifaker because Multifaker's effect is more annoying to play against. And honestly, we're in a very, very tough position because, again, we're going second. Our deck's not really meant to go second. We play the Cyanite Mining. We know it's going to force out the Hexia. So now we're like, okay, if we top deck any Marincess card, we're Gucci on this talent, right? And boom, we get Cyanite Mining again. We can activate it, and then we get our Blue Tang. Now this card, unfortunately, is imperm, but guess what? We can play through it. We can play through it. Let's just show. I just want you to see what we have to deal with, and we still end up playing through our opponent's cards. So now we go into Blue Slug. Blue Slug's gonna let us grab Maiden. Maiden's usually a dead card in our hand, but when it's in the graveyard and we can bring it back with Blue Slug, it actually acts like almost like another Seahorse, in a sense, where it can extend. So we summon Maiden, and then we're just going to summon the Seahorse. Kind of got really lucky off the Blue Tang there, though. Now we got the Battle Ocean, and our opponent is not in a very good position. Now Hexia is going to let him get a card from his deck, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we go into Coral Triangle. Now the whole point of doing this is to discard so we can get our trap. Stopping our opponent's plays is very, very important. Now we set our 3 and then boom. So now what do we have? We have a monster negate. We can stop a search, and we have 3. The way Argonaut works, when he activates a card like spoofing, we can negate spoofing. It doesn't destroy it, but it negates the effect, and we can bring this Coral Anima into the battle zone. So he gets the Marionetta, which is obvious. So it's pretty obvious what he's going to do. He's going to play Marionetta, then use spoofing if I try and interrupt it. The thing is, I'm just going to force the spoofing immediately. I think it's worth it, because if he has no monsters, like, unless he top decked another monster, which would be insanely unlucky, if he has no monsters, he has no way of using spoofing on my turn, right? So that was the idea there. And plus I have the Ash Blossom, so he gets Manifestation, and then he just concedes. Boop, boop. Hello, we're here for game number 2, my little goblins. Our hand is actually fucking bonkers. Besides us going if we were going first, our hand would be absolutely fucking disgusting. And the reason why, I mean, I guess what would make it a little better, replace this Nibiru with a spin, whatever cart the girl is. It's late at night. That's why I yawned. So my apologies for the yawn. Don't want to trigger you guys. Like Brash is triggering me by playing this shit. He's got a Royal Rare, which is double triggers me. And then he banishes the Royal Rare. What a gross little boy. Oh, wait, there it is. We got it. Springle. So, I mean, there's most likely going to be some roadblocks headed my way. And here's the first roadblock. Oh, we get Max Seed. It's actually a very unfortunate Max Seed here. And then he goes for the Branded in Red. Interesting. And I go for a Maxi of my own. Let's just Maxi each other. Max C party. It is a little tilting though, getting Maxied. This deck is this is why I run the Called by the Grave with the Cross out, because getting Maxied is like AIDS. Not even like the Magic Johnson AIDS where you can like heal yourself from it. It's like the terminal AIDS, like the 80s. Like I got AIDS in the 60s AIDS, 70 AIDS. Not very fun, I would say. Not a good time. So here my opponent actually makes a massive mistake. He should have just banished immediately, but he does not. So I'm like, okay. I'm just gonna do the Maxi challenge. You know why I'm doing this, by the way? Because most like, unless he's running Harpies or Lightning Storm, which I don't think that many lists play, there's no out to this field spell. So, when you use Crystal Heart with this field spell up, it makes the monster that you use Crystal Heart as link material be unaffected by all card effects. So he will not be able to Mirror J, he won't be able to do jack shit. So here comes Great Bubble Reef. And you know what? A big misplay on my part, I got greedy here. For some reason, I went to Bubble Reef. I went into this thinking I needed just the raw attack power. I realistically should have just gone into, like, not be greedy and gone to Argonaut. Because Argonaut protects back row, because it could negate spells. I can only do it once per turn, but, like, if you just prioritize, like, you'd be fine. So he activates Super Poly. He has nothing to Super Poly. That's another great thing. This deck is really hard to Super Poly. And he's not really understanding that I'm unaffected by everything here. So now we have Infinite Imperm. We got Double Nibiru. We got Cyanite. We got a lot of follow-up, too. Really disgusting amount of follow-up. And we're going to banish a card. We banish a card from the graveyard because every standby phase, my opponent's and mine, I can banish a card and draw a card. So he suicides, which I thought he was just killing himself because he can't out this. But then he lightning storms, which is, again, if I played this correctly and I played Agronaut instead of Bubble, like, you really have to prioritize it because it was his only out. He has no way of going over this type of damage. But now he does. So here we go. We're going to go Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade's finally going to get rid of our Bubble Reef. Unfortunately. Sad face. Cry. Then he goes into Polymerization. Tragedy is going to grab an Aliber. Yeah, he's just trying to pop off right now. I'm just like, I'm hit with these two Nibirus, like, come on, Brash. Come on. Let's be honest, though. I went second, so Brash honestly should have just shit on me, right? Should have just shit on me. Just saying. And then he max-seed me, like, he already max-seed me once. Or did he max-seed me twice at this point? I don't even know. No, he max-seed me once. This is actually funny because he uses this to go into Titanclad, but like the Mirror Jade was gonna pop my Nibiru anyway, so it really didn't matter. Like, I was losing this card anyway. All right, so Pascal's gonna add back our Ocean. This is why we only run one Ocean, by the way. It's like, unless we're running DD Crow to snipe it in the graveyard, there's no reason to run like more than one. And then we go into Blue Slug. Shit's just popping off right now. I'm feeling good about it. And we have Called by the Grave if he has like a Brain in red. You know? Shit's feeling juicy. I go into Sea Angel because I wanted to just get the last dive out of the graveyard. I mean, out of the deck. Like, thin out the deck. So then we go into Coral Nema, and now we can, again, get our Crystal Heart, Boom Shakalaka, and now we go into Agronaut, which is going to be very, very hard for our opponent to out, in my opinion. And dude, this is like the weirdest play. I have no idea what's going on through this man's head, but he Called by the Grave the Blue Slug. And I was fucking weirded out by that. Like, was he just trying to limit how many cards they could add? Because I have a shitload of links in the graveyard. I don't think he could. I don't think it really mattered. All right. Well, now we're gonna play the Sleep Maiden, and our opponent just concedes. We're gonna bounce the Nibiru token, and then we could have killed there. But our opponent, we won due to time limit. And I'm just going to say right now, I think we're going to win hard anyway, because I was going to be able to go into Totally Awesome and into the Bahamut Shark Totally Awesome line. And I was going to have a card on the field that can negate a spell every turn, and I would have Totally Awesome negate, and I would also, I had a lot of follow-up in my hands too. I had a Call by Grave, cross out. There's no way I was losing that match. Even though in the beginning of the game you'd say, oh, this is an auto loss. I was about to leave this match like multiple times, by the way. If you guys watched on the stream. Hello everybody, we're here for game number 3, and I know these games are a little longer, but I thought they were pretty interesting. They're very fun, so these games are a ton of fun. We got Blue Tang in hand, which is our 1-card combo. Our opponent ashes us because they smell probably pretty bad. And then we cross out because we smell good? Question mark? And then he imperms it anyway. So it was a lot of hoopla for nothing. It's pretty much us whipping out our dicks, seeing who had the bigger shaft. And then at the end of the day, I have triple tactics talent, so I'm probably going to come out ahead. Look at this. Draw 2 cards. I could have sniped a card in his hand too, which is definitely an option I was thinking of. But look at this. Oh, dude, it's so gross. Look at all these cards I just drew. It's so nasty. What did I banish? Ooh, I banished a trap. That's definitely good knowledge. Like, you always want to check what you banish off your shit. Because we only have 1 trap in the deck. And anyone's saying, oh, you should run 2 traps because you play that. Dude, if I ran 2 traps, both traps would have got fucking banished right there. I don't know about you, but this is the game I play. So we thin out the deck last. We got all our spells out of the deck. We go into Splash Magician. That's going to grab the blue tang. Honestly, I feel like this wasn't the correct line of play exactly. But we go into the dive. Because we ended up doing this Crystal Heart play, so I don't think we need to go into Splash Magician. It's kind of just a waste of a link. But it's not bad having it in the graveyard, though, because it's a target for Coral if your opponent wipes your board. So, alright, so our board is disgusting. We destroy our opponent's Guru. Good riddance. We set that Call by the Grave. He's going to activate his ability. We actually Call by the Guru, so he doesn't set the Guru. Because this card's annoying as shit if you ever played against it. The Subterra decks. It's really, really annoying. He's going to set both his subterranean cards or whatever those fucking things are. And we're just going to combo off, because, you know. And he imperms us. Honestly, not very good imperm because it's low impact. I already have Seahorse in hand. He should know that. So, I don't know. So we bounce, and he tries to imperm here, Agronaut. And normally this would be bad because like I only have 2 spaces open, and he has 2 imperms, so he actually locks out all my spells. But since he's using it on a card that's unaffected by card effects, this is not going to hit the imperm lane. Honestly, when this happened, I was just like, oh. And then I cast a dive in this zone. I kind of freaked out, and I was like, oh, wait, no, never mind. We're Gucci. So now we can go into Bottom Mid Shark. Go into Totally Awesome. This card is so good. So good. Every time you play with it, it just feels amazing. And we have a triple tactics for next turn. Seahorse. And we're going to have this Coral Nemia that is going to come onto the field right now. Boom. We're going to negate the search on that. He summons Guru. We just negate the out with Awesome. And the great thing about keeping Bahamut Shark, because sometimes you can link off Bahamut Shark for other plays. The great things about keeping him on the field is you have him for you can summon Totally Awesome next turn. See, so now we got a second summon on Totally Awesome. And the reason why I took his Guru is if he had a follow-up of bringing it back from the graveyard, because we already banished his other one. And then we just kind of humiliate him by attacking with it. It's pretty disgusting, though. Pretty gnarly. Hello, everybody. We're here for game number 4, and our hand is actually pretty darn good, I would say. So we're allowed to get the blue tang. We have the triple tactics for any plays our opponents might have. And I'm going to tell you right now, triple tactics has been amazing. And it's so good when you have like Call by the Grave or Cross Out with your hand with the tactics, because your opponent gets no benefit from the hand trap and you get to activate triple tactics. It's like just boning them twice. But yeah, we're doing the basic combo. You guys already know you've seen this like a million times already by me. And we have dive in hand. This is big. Anytime you have dive in hand is huge. So it's something you always have to remember. If you have Pascal in hand with dive and you have no way of summoning it now because you got it off the blue tang, always think, oh wait, if I send Pascal to the graveyard, I can res it with dive, use its effect to special summon. So that's something to keep in mind always. The deck has a lot of ways of recurring itself. I'm not gonna lie, dude. She's kind of a baddie, dude. Mega so thick too. Look at that. Now we play Ocean, play Dive, Pascal. Boom. It's gonna bring back blue. Now we go into Bahamut Shark. We get our Totally Awesome. Pretty sick. And now we can go into our boss monster. So now when Totally Awesome dies here, like when we use Totally Awesome's effect, like it's actually we're grabbing like something for next turn, because Bahamut Shark's in the graveyard. No way we recur it again. So, and we get Lava Golem, unfortunate. But this is what I love about this deck, right? We get Lava Golem. Yes, it sucks. Horrible. But we have Cabal of the Grave on the field. And we're going to have Anemona and Coral and Totally Awesome grabbing us follow-up plays for next turn. So now we have a dive in hand and a blue tang. And our opponent activates their Ecclesia. We shut it down with Called by the Grave. So they have to kill us this turn. If they don't kill us this turn, we're in very, very good shot of winning. And our opponent concedes because they're a crybaby. We interrupt one little play of theirs and they're like, oh, well, I have no follow-up. Hello, we're here for game number 5, question mark? Yeah, probably. And Dimension Shifters coming out of our opponent. They're playing Flow. So this is why I included the game. I know we all hate our scumbag Flow opponents. And what is, let's see, I know they're playing Flow. They're going second. It's already kind of, they're disadvantaged right now. But I hate Flow, so we're going to disadvantage them more. We're going to look at their hand, and look at their hand. They have a Stry, an Eaglin, and an M-Pin, and we take out their field spell. Isn't that hilarious? Don't you like to see people suffer? So now we're going to combo off. We'll skip through this comboing because it does take a while. So we add the Seahorse, Search, Bam, Boom. Oh, we actually, Finding Maiden's actually pretty sick. Extra extension. Now we get the Battle Ocean. You get it. Go into Coral. Coral grabs that shit. Goes in Triangle. Adds Seahorse. Uses effect, discard Seahorse. Boom, boom. Maiden goes out. Now we have a way of going into Agronaut. And everything's Gucci. And remember, Wave you can activate from your hand. So we got pretty much 2 negates. So we have Effect Veiler and we have Wave. And look, oh my, this is the most hilarious thing. He activates this, so he top decks this card. And it's like, okay. Thank you for letting me activate my Argonaut. I was afraid I wasn't going to get value out of this. He gets to add the card, but at what cost? And then he summons Strix. Dude, this shit is so funny to me. This shit is so funny to me because he's like, he's still comboing off when it's like, dude, it's over. Like, you have no chance. He has no other summons. He has two dead cards in his hand. GG, get out of here. Hello, we're here for the last game, and my god, our hand is a little bit juicy. So we're going to add, send Seahorse to the graveyard. And then we are going to be getting our blue slug. Chain link 1, chain link 2. Always want to protect the blue tank for the chains. Just because you can Ash this effect. And look, we found the dive and we find the Spring Girl. Spring Girl is actually pretty good here. So we go into Sea Angel. Sea Angel's gonna grab Ocean. I think like 9 times out of 10 you usually grab Ocean. There are instances though where you want to grab Dive. You want to grab Dive over Ocean. But this definitely wasn't like one of them. Alright, so we are gonna go into Crystal Heart. Crystal Mommy. Crystal Mommy comes out. Then we can go see an Enema. Now here I could have went for the trap. But instead, wait, hold on. I'm gonna Pot of Desires. Did I banish the trap? No, I didn't. I actually do go for the trap. Never mind. This is like a really long-winded way of going for the trap. I definitely think this was like one of the early games I played with the deck. I definitely think there was a smoother line getting to the trap here. I really wanted to go into the Crystal Heart though, because I wanted a way of making this card unaffected by cards. And then I just activate Max C. I don't know what I'm playing against. Just in case they Kaiju'd me, that's the reason why I did that. So they're going to activate Cursed Eldland, so our opponent is playing Eldritch. Let's just hope they don't read any cards. This is, I think this was Plat 2. So there's a good chance they don't read any cards. Lord knows I don't. We top deck a Ash Blossom. You know what? One thing I do want to say, just to give you guys another tip, because you guys should always accept these with with Heed My Call. So when he activated Eldon's effect to pay 100 to search, I should have activated Aqua's effect. There's no reason why I should have activated Aqua's effect. I'm not protecting this anymore. He can't Lightning Storm. If he had Harpies, I assume he would have used it already. So I should have used it because it would have gave me follow-up play. Because now I top decked Ash Blossom and I have no follow-up play. I just pretty much have this big boy here, which is a little unfortunate. You can't activate Argonaut's effect on your turn. You can only activate on your opponent's turn. So now he activates the Rite of Emirs here. And here I'm actually going to go for the negate. So I'm like, okay. Now I actually do it. Now I have follow-up. He activates the Eldland. Now if he's smart, he uses this to hit the ocean. He doesn't read though. Reading's difficult. If he actually hit this, actually not a bad play, right? And then he just concedes. GG. Alright, let's get to the recap. Hello guys, we're here with the recap and let's talk about Marincess. So this deck just got exponentially better after this set just got dropped. So what did we get? Why is this deck so much better and why did it perform so well? So we got Spring Girl. Card's insanely good, strong extender. Sleepy Maiden, another target for Blue Tang and also a very good extender. Marincess Dive, another insane extender. These are all things that the deck was missing. Remember when I did my deck profile before about Marincess? The main complaint I had about Master Duel is there's no extenders. They have all the extenders now. They can actually play the game through hand traps. So this deck just got a huge boost in the ratings to me personally. Our Aqua Argonaut, insanely good card. Also, she looks awesome. She looks really cool. This has been there for a while. Coral Triangle, very good card. I know we only use it to get the trap, but it's so useful getting that trap and being able to just search out of the deck like that. Yeah, I mean, the deck just got so much better. So, how did we perform? We had an 80% win rate, and we climbed from Plat 5 to Plat 1. You could watch the VOD. The VOD, we climbed to, like, Plat 2 with, like, 2 games or 1 game left to Plat 1. And then off-stream, I climbed to Plat 1. But the deck is just performed so well. Like, I really can't. No words for it. It's beautiful. Masterpiece. Now, what does this mean for the tier listing? So, like, when I do a scale of 1 to 10, I take it very seriously. Out of a 1 to 10, I actually think this deck's like an 8.5. I think it's really solid. I think it's very strong. Now, on a, I guess the, what is it normally people do? Like a tier rating? Like, this is a tier 0 deck. Well, this deck, I would say, is at least a tier 2 deck. I think it's at least a tier 2 deck. I know that's some big words there, and this deck does have issues against Kaijus, but you know what? Every deck that builds an end board has a problem against Kaiju. Like, it is what it is. The good thing about this deck, though, is if you get Kaiju'd, right, you have your Coral to search you at least like a follow-up card. Like, you can use Coral to pick up Blue Tang, and then, look, you have a full combo again. You can get into the end board again. The deck's very strong. I recommend 10 out of 10 in how fun the deck is. And one thing I really love about this deck that you don't really get out of that many decks is, like, if you're on a back foot, it always feels like you can come back and win the game, you know? And I really like that out of a deck. I feel like not many decks have that type of aspect to them where it's like, oh, I can out if I just draw this. Oh, if I draw this and do this, like, I can out it. There's not too many decks that are like that. And I think that really shows the powerhouse of the deck. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys want next. Pretty exciting. Bye.